So this right here that you're going to see right now that I'm going to show you, this is going to be special servicers. So as my other real estate video that I talked about, special servicers are essentially when a loan goes into default, they get handled by a special servicer. Well, look at these. So this is a CMBS special servicers, right? And this is as of March 2023. Now, you know, all hell broke loose in the banking sector in March, right? Well, this is what they're not showing you. And those banks that I showed you, some of their loans may very well already be in some of these special servicers, right? So right here, you can see these are the special servicers, but look at the amount of loans. Look at the number of loans that they have that they're servicing, okay? Now, this is nationwide, okay? Look at the amount of loans. Now, look at the number. That's the balance in millions. So that's 7.7 billion, 4.9 billion, 4.3 billion. Look at the amount of servicing that they're doing. Now you can see that some of them, Wells Fargo right here, they're servicing some of those loans, and they also underwrite some of those loans, right? So we've got a total that you see 34 billion, okay, and 891 loans that are with special services right now. I think that's going to be a problem. You're seeing the implosion right now, folks. The credit crunch, the liquidity is happening behind the scenes. You're not seeing stuff like this talked about. I'm not seeing other YouTubers really focus and talk about this specific information, right? Like, especially in regards to how this can affect the AMC play. This is massive. Why? Because these banks are the ones that's supplying the liquidity. Again, I will refer back to this article from the Hedge Fund Journal. All right, so this is the Hedge Fund Journal article that I was talking about. So this is from hedgefundjournal.com. Counterparty risk, the importance of diligence monitoring, right? Now, as you can see, this is from 2012, right? So this is after the GFC. Now, what we're going to look at, though, is we're going to look at this first paragraph right here, right, in this subsection. Learning from failure. It says counterparty risk is a challenge faced by all players in the financial industry. Pre-2008, banks believed that hedge funds were one of the greatest sources of counterparty risk. However, in 2008, when Bear Stearns was rescued by JP Morgan and the Lehman Brothers Holding Corp collapsed, it became clear that the risk could be reversed, and banks have the potential to pose a major risk to hedge funds, right? So is that they're reversing the risk now. The counterparty risk is used to be saying the banks is like, well, the hedge fund is our counterparty. They have a severe risk because they are the ones that are taking the massive amount of risk to try and, you know, gain these 20, 30, 40% returns a year for their client, right? But now they're saying that, look, that the bank may even actually be the counterpart where the counterparty risk lies, right? So this is an old article from 2012. But you see how this could be the risk now in 2023? Now you have these banks that have lent all this money to these commercial real estate projects, and these things are starting to go under. Well, guess what? If that starts to pull them down, that could be a significant problem. Now, how does that apply to regional banks, right? Like First Republic, you see them in the news a lot lately, right? Their stock, I think today dropped again. Today is Friday. The stock dropped like another 30% again, right? Now, what you got to consider is that outside of the top 25 banks, 40% of commercial real estate loans are done by regional banks. So let's look at another chart on that. All right, so as you can see, you guys, this is from via Investopedia, and this article is from April 6th, right? So this is not like a dated article. This is not like 2 years old, right? This is a fairly recent article, you know, a couple weeks ago. So as you look at regional banks, regional bank commercial real estate loan exposure. So as you can see, commercial real estate loans as a percentage of their total loans, right? So as obvious, you can see New York Community Bank has a very high exposure, 71%. Valley National, 60%. Signature Bank was 43%. East West, 39%. So on and so forth. But look at the exposure. Okay, some of these are your regional banks that have been in the news lately. But guess what? They haven't really been talking about these real estate portfolios, right? And how those real estate portfolios be one of the triggers and the significant catalyst to go ahead and allow for this credit freeze to actually start. Because guess what? If too many of these banks start having problems and the big banks have to start bailing them out, that puts more stress on them. So we have to look at this. This all is connected, right? So the fact that we've got more time for AMC to have that cost of borrow go up, the more time we have for an inevitable banking credit freeze to happen, that's a good thing. We want that. We want more time. Hell, people are saying, oh, well, they're going to run out of money. They're going to run out of money. They're making money. They can go another 2 quarters and live off of that money before they would have to actually have any emergency money get injected into them. So we, of course, don't want it to go that long because we want the company to still be able to survive. But at the end of the day, what we want the short squeeze to happen. The short squeeze is going to happen when there's pressure on the people that are shorting the stock. And the pressure is going to come from, I'm telling you, the pressure is going to, it's a black swan. It's going to like fly in, boom, hit us in the back of the head. Okay. But that black swan is got to fly in, and it's going to fly in from places that people aren't really looking now. So when you look at this right now, you don't hear them talking about this commercial real estate. I think this is where the bomb in the basement, and when this explodes, when this bomb in this basement explodes, it's going to spread to the upper floors, and those upper floors are going to be some of these hedge funds. Watch. We'll see.